Hey guys, and welcome back to TEW. We are, of course, Classic Championship Wrestling, and this is our local to global. Before we jump into the episode, I want to say a big thank you to all the members of the channel. So thank you to Genevieve Sweet. Don't forget, if you want to support the channel, the series, all that fun stuff, you can by becoming a member today. All you've got to do is press the join button for less than a cup of coffee a month. It supports us, and you get early access to these episodes. So, with that being said, let's jump into our previous show. Now we'll go over the last four, just in case, and we'll skip the pre-show. We had Femme Fatale, Kenzie Page, Gigi Ray, and Rebel Kell defeat Alex Garcia and the Hall Sisters. Femme Fatale then said that they would not be overlooked. Drexel vowed to destroy what he created in terms of the Disciples, and Gia Miller planned to bury him in the same body bag he buried so many others in. Ricky Knight Jr. defeated Baron Black. He then cut a promo saying he wanted a junior heavyweight title match at the next show. The Circus and the Disciples were caught brawling. Midnight Heat defeated the Cook Brothers. Chris Ridgway said that Kevin Blackwood should be thankful that he made him the first ever double champion, but he still wants his heavyweight title. Kevin Blackwood and Chris Ridgway would then defeat Robert Martyr and Royce Isaacs. Swoggle said that Prawn Patrol had lost their touch in the detective department. Valkyrie defeated Abandon when Ashley Flair would debut, being the new number one contender. At Betrayal, we had Lycos Jim defeat the American Guns and Infamy. The Circus and the Disciples once again caught brawling throughout the arena. Suzu Suzuki would defeat Hanako, and then Femme Fatale would beat down Suzu. Takumi Baba would defeat Ricky Knight Jr. to retain the Junior World Heavyweight title. Post-match, Roderick Strong would debut, beating down Takumi Baba and holding the Junior Heavyweight title above his head. Randy Orton was revealed as the new CCW Commissioner. Kevin Blackwood would defeat Cody Chun and King Cash to retain his World Heavyweight title. Claudio Castagnoli would debut to defeat Tatsuya Naito. Valkyrie would defeat Seiya Kamitina to retain the Women's World title. And post-match, Ashley Flair would come out stating she was very impressed by Valkyrie, but that she's only got one more month with the title. At our next show, Hanako defeated Abandon. Roderick Strong squashed Adrian Notice. And then Strong vs Ricky Knight Jr. vs Blanc was made for the next show, in which the winner would face Baba. Ultrasonic defeated Ryzen and Rob Martyr. Let me get rid of the Java update quick. There we go. Swoggle brings out a crime board for clue placement about the identity of Lycos 2. However, no one had any clues for him. Gia Miller wanted Drexel's soul, and the Circus and the Disciples would attack and all brawl. Serena Deeb somehow got a 60 rated match out of Ida Bradley. Randy Orton said that Chris Ridgway and Kevin Blackwood must get along. There'd be no heavyweight title matches between them, and if they intentionally lose their tag team titles, both are fired from the company. Valkyrie would defeat Xia Zhao. Ashley Flair, post-match, said she was very happy that Valkyrie is keeping the title warm for her. And then in the main event, Chris Ridgway and Kevin Blackwood would defeat Jane Duca and Hoodfoot to retain the World Tag Team titles. And then at Devil's Playground, our Halloween-themed show, Roderick Strong would defeat Blanc and Ricky Knight Jr. Femme Fatale, being Kenzie Page, Gigi Ray, and Rebel Kell, would defeat Session Martina and the Hall Sisters. Suzu Suzuki would return and attack Femme Fatale with a kendo stick. Kevin Blackwood and Chris Ridgway defeated the Church of Disciples to retain the World the World Tag Team titles. The Circus and Disciples once again caught brawling post-match. Pac and Claudio Castagnoli are teaming up and are here to dominate Classic Championship Wrestling. Keith Lee would defeat Davey Boy Smith, both men making their debuts. Pac and Claudio Castagnoli would defeat Kevin Blackwood and Brian Cook. It was meant to be Kevin Cook, we're going to pretend it was. Valkyrie and Ashley Flair had a video package, and then in the main event, Ashley Flair defeated Valkyrie to win the Women's World title. And that brings us to now. So if we check out our finances, you will see we're up by a huge amount of money as Lenovo kicks in again. Yeah, we're up almost $80,000 now, which is awesome. So what I'm thinking is, if we come to our production, I want to increase these again. So we're going to increase this one, and we're going to increase this one. I'm going to wait for these. This will be the next one we do. Volunteers are so expensive, because this is going to put up to $2,000 per night of shows, which is a lot of cash. So I'm happy with these being at a baseline, and then we'll do broadcast quality, probably in like a month or two, and then we'll do volunteers. But for now, I'm happy with where we're at. If we come to our size, you will see we are very, very, I was going to say close. We're not close, but we're like on the right tracks for actually just improving completely. A 47 in the Northwest and a 42 in the Midwest. This little plan I had of running 2 shows a month, 1 in each area. Also, we made a loss for like 2 years, but now we're just making pure profit. We're getting there in Canada too. Mexico, could be better. The British Isles, getting there as well. Japan. Now, I do want to get a Japanese TV company network at some point to improve this, because that would be ideal. Same with Europe, we're not being seen there, or Oceania, or India, and we're not being shown in Mexico either. So this is just pure spillover, so we do have some movement here. So with that being said, we will skip ahead any news we'll talk about, and if not, I will see you at the show. Mexican company IWRG has been raided by police with just over $250,000 being seized. It was believed that organised crime had been secretly using the company for money laundering purposes, posing as legitimate backers. The owner is said to have been completely unaware of the crime and is cooperating fully with police. The damage to the company's reputation is already clear though, with several sponsors deserting them within hours of the news breaking. Hoping we could buy them for cheap. Yeah, I didn't think so. It was worth a try though. Is there any company we can buy in Mexico or Japan for cheap? Let's have a quick little look. What size are we? We are small, I think. As I press the wrong button. Any in debt here? No. Okay. What about tiny size? No. Okay. Mexico? Oh, press the wrong button again. Didn't think so. Most companies that were in debt have probably gone bankrupt, so good to know. Okay, it's time for our first show, and I've given people the night off, so let's select our venue, and we're going to the Midwest, as always, for the first show. Finalize our broadcasters, let's get us on, everyone. Okay, despite his best efforts, Oni El Bendito has been stranded at the airport and will not be able to make the show. Not a huge loss, that's okay. Booking team meeting, only 130, we'll keep that as it is. Locker room incidents, Ethan HD and Samla Turner have apparently been hanging out together a lot backstage. Ethan HD has a lively personality and Samla Turner has the lively personality. Makes a lot of sense. Apparently the pair of Samla Turner and Drexel have been hanging out a lot recently. Damn, she's hanging out with Ethan HD and Drexel. Fair play. One of the main discussing points, the news that Takumi Baba and Gigi Ray are apparently now dating. Okay, 2 people featured on the show pretty prominently recently. So, D-Lo did training for Rebel Cow, Gigi Ray and Ida Bradley. Devon did training for Notice and Crawdad. Excellent. We'll address the locker room. We'll do some team bonding. New tensions between Baba and Sonico. Interesting. Otherwise, it strengthened the relationship between literally everyone else. Very, very interesting. Okay. Right. You know how this goes. We'll get the show booked and I'll see you at the results page. Okay, in our opening match of the show, we had Lycos Gym defeat the American Guns in 10 minutes. A wrestling rating of 47 and a segment rating of 57. Lycos 2 with a 63, Kid Lycos with a 51, Ethan HD with a 39, and Mike Santiago with the 35. You can see lots of excellent chemistry and specialist bonuses here, which is always nice. We then follow Lycos Gym through the back and the curtain where Prawn Patrol are undercover as hot dog vendors. However, their attempts to entice Lycos Gym goes unnoticed, and they've just walked to the back discussing their match. In our second match, we had Ultrasonic defeat William Winner and Brian Vecchio in just a quick little 6-minute match. Wrestling rating of 36 and a segment rating of 46. Radar with the 66, Sonic with the 55, Vecchio with the 20, and William Winter with the 5. Now, we did have Sonico has the cracked tailbone still, so he's not wrestling at his best. So 55 is still pretty solid, I just wanted to test that out. We then cut to the back where Femme Fatale have beat down Suzu Suzuki as revenge for the kendo stick assault. We then get Tetsuya Naito taking on Roderick Strong, in which Roderick Strong would win in 12 minutes. Wrestling rating of 51 and a segment rating of 55. Naito got 43, Strong got 59. Post-match, Strong starts beating down Naito to send a message, in which Baba would run in to make the save. A segment rating of 53, that's pretty damn good. We then cut to the back where the Disciples have launched an all-out assault on Crazy Steve and Drexel because Oni isn't in the arena. Keith Lee would defeat Hoodfoot in 10 minutes, a wrestling rating of 43 and a segment rating of 48. Keith Lee with the 45 and Hoodfoot with the 42. We then cut to the back where Kathy Kelly is being Suzuki is being interviewed by Kathy Kelly, in which Commissioner Autumn would walk into, the shot and tell Suzu that she needs to find 2 partners for the next show. Segment rating of 63 is awesome. Autumn's performance was good. Suzuki enjoyed being able to go off script. Awesome stuff there. We then get Ashley Flair taking on Hanako, in which Ashley Flair would win in 10 minutes. A wrestling rating of 51 and a segment rating of 60. So Ashley Flair got 60, Hanako got 43. Ashley Flair seemed off her game as well, that's really cool. We then get Orton come out to discuss the state of Classic Championship Wrestling. A segment rating of 76 is insane. Essentially, he talks about how Sonico and Radar still are owed a tag team title rematch. He talks about how the Disciples and the Circus are going to be put in a match of his choosing soon to end this once and for all. And then in our main event, Kevin Blackwood and Chris Ridgway would defend their tag team titles against JJ Garrett and LSG. A wrestling rating of 42 and a segment rating of 43. The champs obviously retain, with Ridgway getting a 48, Kevin Blackwood the 49, LSG the 34, and JJ Garrett the 36. So overall, a solid show, increased our popularity in 24 regions. Address the locker room, so let's get this going. We will give it to Orton, because he obviously did incredible. Suzu also did incredible with her little promo. And who else do we want to give it to? You know what? Let's give it to, when I can see them, Carl Anderson, our colour commentator, just to keep his morale up. So seem pleased, and seem pleased. Financial report, we still made almost 5k, love that. Not as much as usual, but we'll take it. Popularity recap, we've gone up to 43 now in the Midwest, excellent. Okay, it's the day after the show, and WWE are releasing Julius Creed. Now I was interested in picking him and Brutus up, and I think he could be a really fun pickup, so we're going to do it. A 2-year contract, $1,000 a show. His stats are awesome, look at these. I reckon this is a worthwhile bringing. Yeah, really worthwhile. So Keith Lee's opinion, Hanako's going to be a star, she's worth pushing hard, we're going to, don't you worry. 20,000 viewers, nice. Julius Creed's contract, and Naito is gone from Classic Championship Wrestling. So let's just come into our finances quick. We're still up 2,500 for the month, that's okay. Not bad, not bad. I just want to check out my creative. So still these guys. Hot prospects. Okay, nice. And who are my showstoppers? Okay, so mostly the women's division. Cool. Okay, we have our decision to make, so let's bring in Julius Creed. We're going to bring him in as a face. Jacob Casper sounds perfect. And we got some news, which is one called Manders has finally returned to the company from his broken neck, so we can actually use him for our match. Nice. Okay, it's time for our next show, and I've given people the night off. So tonight's venue is the Northwest. Finals are broadcasters. I added independent. No, I didn't. I added high spots and added remix. So we should be able to get ourselves on everyone. Excellent. I want to see how badly that. How much that inflates our viewing numbers. Booking team, we're only at 146, so we're going to leave it as it is. Cody Chun wants to hang out backstage. Sure, we've used him a few times. He's always been good. Kana has been brightening the backstage arena. Pac wants to become a locker room leader. Sure. We did training for Rebel Cow and Gigi Ray. And for Russman, Josiah, and Crawdad. Excellent. Address the locker room. Let's medal. In between, let's do Josiah and Dion Russman. Excellent. Okay, let's get the show booked on our junior results page. Okay, our first match of the show is Lycos Gym taking on Pac and Claudio Castagnoli. A 65 wrestling rating and a segment rating of 74, in which Pac and Claudio would get the win in 14 minutes. We had Kid Lycos 2 with an in-ring performance of 68, Kid Lycos with the 53, Claudio with the 63 and Pac with the 77, as well as the excellent chemistry together and the tag team specialist bonus. Post-match, Kathy Kelly would interview both Pac and Claudio, who claim they are coming for those World Tag Team titles. We then get Ken Blackwood and Chris Ridgway defending said tag team titles against Infamy, in which they would retain. A wrestling rating of 54 and a segment rating of 51. Ridgway with the 58, Ken Blackwood with the 62, Russman with the 54 and Josiah with the 40. We then get Eddie Kingston taking on Buddy Matthews, both men making their debut. A wrestling rating of 56 and a segment rating of 63, as Buddy Matthews would get the win in 14 minutes. Eddie Kingston got a 62 and Buddy Matthews got a 51. I expected more from Buddy, personally. We then cut to the back, where Prawn Patrol are pretending to be sort of the medical staff assessing Kid Lycos 2 after his match. However, Lycos 2 would notice because of the mask and Sorgle and, push him away and run away. We then get Takumi Baba defending his junior world heavyweight title against Roderick Strong, in which he would retain in 16 minutes. A wrestling rating of 57 and a segment rating of 62. Baba got a 52, Strong got a 61. We then cut to the back, where the Circus and Disciples are once again just brawling all throughout the backstage arena. We then get Suzu Suzuki and her two mystery tag team partners of Kairi and Kana taking on Femme Fatale, in which Suzu, Kairi and Kana would get the win in 14 minutes. Wrestling rating of 61 and a segment rating of 68. So Kana got a 74, Kairi got a 70, Suzu got a 74. Rebel Cow got a 50, Gigi Ray got a 34, and Kenzie Page got a 65. Awesome. Kairi got a very good rating, Kana got a great rating, awesome stuff there. Commissioner Autumn will then come out and cut a promo saying that the Circus and the Disciples are going to be kept apart for 1 month, and then at the Christmas event, they will take on all in a 3v3 death match. We then get Ultrasonic finally taking on the Second Gear crew, a wrestling rating of 62 and a segment rating of 73. No way, that's awesome. Radar with the 66, Sonico with the 72, Matthew Justice with the 61, and one called Manders with the 48. What a match. We then cut to the back, where Kairi, Kana, and Suzu are cutting a promo talking about their victory and how they're grateful, how Suzu is grateful that they came to back her up. We then get a video package between Ashley Flair and Valkyrie showing off that this is match number 2, in which Ashley Flair would once again defeat Valkyrie with the figure 4 in 21 minutes. Wrestling rating of 61 and a segment rating of 56. Flair got a 60, Valkyrie got a 62. So we've got an overall rating of 62, increased our popularity in 24 regions, not bad at all. So let's address the locker room, and we have to give it to Kairi and Kana for being amazing, and Sonico put on a hell of a performance as well. So seem pleased. Financial report, we made $13,000 from that, excellent. Popularity recap, we have gained, we're up to 48 now in the Northwest. Cool. Okay, it's the day after the show, and you can see Roderick Strong and Eddie Kingston have both left us. Kana has been offered a contract by Black Label Pro, I believe that is. Yep, that's fine. Matthew Justin, one called Manders, have also left, and we've got almost 25,000 viewers. Hell yes. So if I go to my finances, ending the month on 20,000, not bad at all. If If I come to my merchandise, this month's merchandise, so Orton is first, Flair is second, Valkyrie third, Ken Blackwood fourth, Pac fifth, sixth is Keith Lee, seventh Claudio, Naito, we're going to lose him unfortunately, Suzu, Strong, okay, not bad at all, not bad at all. Who's near the bottom? Oh, Buddy Matthews, okay. Babalo, making $1 from merch, good for him. Good old Baba. Okay, it is the end of the month, which means it's the end of the episode. So, let's just go over a few things. Finances, we finished on 20,000, not bad. I'm quite happy to lose out on the almost 40k and half it for the high production values. I think that's well worth it. As far as stuff goes, we have Jacob Casper waiting to debut, Tony Storm waiting to debut, Britt Baker waiting to debut. I've picked up so many people off camera. I'm not sure what we're going to use them for, but I think I'd rather have them on the roster than not have them. So, yeah. I really hope you have enjoyed this episode. If you have, please drop it a like. Again, if you want to support the channel, you can by becoming a member today to gain early access to these episodes. If you haven't already, please subscribe as well. We've got more TEW, we've got other fantasy bookings, podcast predictions, reviews, other wrestling games. Basically, you name it, the Wrestling Hideout probably has it somewhere. And hopefully, I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.